Hey YouTube, this is PrimetimePokemon. In this video, I'll be sharing some more tips for building a Pokemon TCG deck. Specifically, in this video, I'll be discussing increasing a Pokemon's attack. And of course, when you are building a deck for the competitive game, it's always important to have some powerful attackers in your deck. The most popular way to win a battle is knocking out all of your opponent's Pokemon and taking all 6 prize cards. So of course, when attacking, you want to do the maximum amount of damage possible. Now in the 2018 standard format, there are several ways that you can increase a Pokemon's attack, whether that be by a Pokemon's ability, some type of trainer card, or even a special energy. So the remainder of this video, I'll be going through the more popular ways of increasing a Pokemon's attack. Before I get into that part of the video, I would say that the 2 most popular ways in the 2018 standard format to increase a Pokemon's attack would be 2 different tool cards. These are cards that are attached to a Pokemon. I would say the most popular way to increase a Pokemon's attack would be attaching a Choice Band Trainer to a Pokemon. Now this Choice Band Trainer increases the amount of damage a Pokemon does when attacking by 30, but you have to be attacking either an EX or a GX Pokemon. And of course, with the competitive decks out there, almost all of them are dependent on these types of Pokemon GX and EX, so these Choice Band Trainer cards are very, very effective. I would say another popular way to increase a Pokemon's attack would be by attaching a Fighting Fury Belt, which is another tool card, to a Pokemon. Now the requirement here is that the Pokemon must be a basic Pokemon, but not only does this tool card increase an attack by 10, but it also increases the Pokemon's HP that this card is attached to by 40. So it does almost a double whammy, a twofold advantage with this type of tool card. But that's just a couple of examples out there. There are plenty more ways to increase a Pokemon's attack. Alright, so now we can take a look at some of the Pokemon that are useful for increasing the amount of damage that you're able to do when attacking. Now there are lots of different Pokemon out there that have moves and or abilities that do this such thing. And here are a few examples. Now Regirock EX, which is from the Fates Collide set, is very useful in a fighting type deck. The ability, Regipower, says the attacks of your fighting type Pokemon do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you can utilize this ability from the bench and do 10 more damage when attacking with your fighting type Pokemon. Of course, you can include more than one Regirock EX on your bench and increase the amount of damage you're able to do when attacking by that much more. So there's one example. Volcanion EX is very useful in a fire type deck. Its ability, called Steam Up, says the following. Once during your turn, you may discard a fire energy card from your hand. If you do during this turn, your basic fire Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And just like Regirock, you can have multiple Volcanion EX on your bench and do 30, 60, 90, etc. amount of damage when attacking. And this amount of damage, 30 times damage, really adds up very quickly, and it allows you to knock out GX and EX cards pretty easily. And then the last Pokemon that I'll show here, Delmise. This is from the Guardians Rising set. Its ability, Steelworker, says your metal Pokemon's attacks do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you really need to know the type of Pokemon you're going to put into your deck that you're building, and then you can find the appropriate Pokemon to use the ability to increase damage when attacking. And there are lots of other examples out there. These are just 3 that I'm very familiar with and see fairly often. Alright, now I can show some of the trainer cards and special energy that are useful for increasing the amount of damage you're able to do when attacking. Like I mentioned in the open of this video, Choice Band, this is a Pokemon tool card, is the most popular way, I would say. It says the attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon GX or active Pokemon EX. and a majority of decks out there include GX and EX cards, so this card is always useful. You just attach it to your Pokemon. That is one example. Fighting Fury Belt is also very good. This is another tool card, and it says the basic Pokemon this card is attached to gets 40 more HP, and its attacks do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So the big thing here, this card can only be attached to a basic Pokemon, but increasing that HP by 40 does a whole lot, and then just doing 10 more damage when attacking really does help as well. Sometimes something like a move will do 50 damage, but if it does 60 damage instead of 50, it will knock out something like a basic Pokemon, like an Alolan Vulpix, in one move. Now on to some of the more popular supporter cards for increasing damage. Professor Cucuy is very popular. It says, draw 2 cards. During this turn, your Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now the one downfall to this card is if you're just starting the game and you are not set up to attack, or you're playing this card the very first turn and you want more cards into your hand, unfortunately the 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon may be wasted, but doing additional damage per turn is always very good. And drawing more cards into your hands is also a great thing to do. Now on to a couple of stadium cards that are useful for increasing damage. Aether Paradise Conservation Area is the opposite of that. It says basic grass type Pokemon and basic lightning type Pokemon take 30 less damage from your opponent's attacks. Now there are lots of more defensive type of cards out there. This is just one of them. This essentially increases the HP of your Pokemon. I use this in my Tapu Bulu GX deck and Tapu Koko GX deck because it increases the HP of the Pokemon and it makes your opponent's attacks essentially do less when attacking. Another stadium card that is useful would be Devoured Field. This is from Crimson Invasion. It says the attacks of Darkness Pokemon and Dragon Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, do 10 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. So similarly with any stadium card out there, it really benefits both players, but hopefully you're not facing a deck that has Darkness or Dragon type Pokemon. But again, increasing the amount of damage you're able to do by 10, and then you add on something like Professor Cucuy or Choice Band or Fighting Fury Belt, and it can really do a lot of additional damage quite quickly. And then one special energy card here that is useful for increasing the damage when attacking would be Strong Energy. It says, this card can only be attached to fighting type Pokemon. This card provides fighting energy only while this card is attached to a fighting Pokemon. The attacks of the fighting Pokemon this card is attached to do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And I use this Strong Energy specifically in my Buzzwole GX deck. Buzzwole GX has a move that requires only 1 energy, so you can then use Strong Energy for that 1 energy, doing I believe 50 damage for 1 energy, and then it also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So there are a few different ways to increase damage when attacking. This is an important strategy to at least think about when building your very own deck. And at the very least, you're going to want to include a few Choice Band trainers in your deck. So there you have it. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, before you go, check out all the links in the description of this video, including links to my blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. And as always, if you have suggestions on more ways to increase damage when attacking, or if you have suggestions on future videos you'd like to see in this series, please let me know. So thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.